How's that? Can you hear me now? Hopefully you can. I'll wave until I hear it. So what do you think, Neshi? Am I good? I'll leave it up to you. Are you finding it? Are you hearing me? Let's see if I can get my ball up and going. Can you hear me now? And if not, let's see. Okay, good. Now you can hear me. So let's try that again. Welcome to Chakra Sessions. I'm your host, Polly Jo Labbé. I'm here as part of Star Nation's radio network. And this episode, I guess you would call it, of Chakra Sessions is all about calling in the high heart. So how cool is that? So I'm glad you guys can hear me. I just traveled back from Maine. Many of you know that's sort of my sacred space, and my heart is there, my energy is there, and pretty soon I'll be there too. At least that's the plan. So here we are. And it's the day before Valentine's Day. So there's a lot of love energy in the air. And it's interesting because I was noticing people talking about love differently. Lots of times in the past, I've heard people talking only about romantic love, and that's what Valentine's is all about. But I was hearing a number of things about friends doing Valentine's for each other, which, I received one of those, which was so lovely. I got this wonderful Valentine from a beautiful woman who sent me a gift that I adore. Because, as adults, we don't get that the way we did when we were kids, right? And so it had me thinking about that being a different energy. And then I saw this morning on one of the morning, Good Morning America kind of shows, they were talking about Galentine's Day. So gals doing Valentines for each other so people could feel the love. That friendship love as well as the romantic love. And when we're talking about calling in the high heart, that energy is actually more aligned with our higher self, our spirit. That's the heart of our soul, as opposed to the heart of this physical body right here. So it's a higher vibration, and many people experience it when they're meditating. When I work doing my healing work and I call in either Kuan Yin or Mother Mary, I feel that high heart energy because the divine feminine activates the high heart for me pretty quickly, as it does for most people. But, it's one of our soul chakras. So rather than one of the 7, it's one of our 12. Let's just pretend that, hold that space. So let's see. A lot of you are saying you can hear me. So I'm so happy that everyone's here. Let's see. Neshi's here. Woohoo! So that's to remind me, if you guys could like and share this broadcast, it'll help us get out there, because I would love for people to connect with us and get an opportunity to do some healing work tonight later. And also just to learn the information, because sometimes knowledge is power, right? When we know something, we can tap into it. And hi, Andrew. I was in your neck of the woods. I was in Kennebunk. I wasn't far. So it's good to have you here. Hi, Gina. Welcome. Christine can hear me, but welcome. Glad you can hear me as well. Jackie, nice to have you. And Violet, thank you guys for letting me know. I had my equipment with me in Maine, and sometimes when you come back, it's, the settings got, clicked when you were in transit. And so that's how that goes. So hello, Joanne. Nice to have you. And let's see who else is here. Barbie, happy Valentine's Day to you. Neshi is loving and sharing because it's a great topic. I know, I'm so excited. And Violet's saying hi, and Kimberly's here too. And Lynn, oh my goodness. Nice. So Karen is saying she works at an elementary school and we're celebrating Friends Day tomorrow instead of Valentine's Day. And Kimberly's saying happy Valentine's Day from Scotland. Woohoo! We don't have that every day, right? So I like that it's Friends Day. When I had a dance studio for years, we would have a week-long celebration of gathering together. And I did give Valentines to all my students. And I often got some really cool ones in return. But it was about sharing the love and the joy that we all had for dance. And it was our dance family. So it was sharing it in that type of way. And, you know, sometimes these holidays can really stress people out. They feel like if they don't have, how do I say it? If they don't have, you know, an exclusive romantic partner, then, you know, what's Valentine's Day without that? And I shared in my show yesterday that we can celebrate by really connecting to our self-love. Because how we love ourselves is how we share ourselves with others and how they can learn how to love us. So I have bought myself my own Valentine's cards where I get what I would like to receive written on it. And I say a note to myself. And I keep it on my altar for a little while because, you know, when you have those, especially in the winter, sometimes we have those winter blues that kind of come in February or March because it's been gray for so long. And so it's nice to look at that love energy and to connect to that. I will buy myself flowers. I've bought myself champagne and celebrated how much I love myself. So, you know, you can take back your power when it comes to Valentine's Day if it's been something difficult. But as we move into our high heart and we're thinking about unconditional love, then aren't we all Valentines with everyone? Can't we find the love inside of us to share with other people? And I know there are some people it's harder to share love with. That's part of our soul growth, our soul work. But there are a lot of things that we love and we enjoy, and we can call that in. So all of that helps us connect to our high heart. Another thing that we talk about to open that is when you really connect to your gratitude, what you're grateful for in your everyday life, and those little miracles that are out there that we sometimes don't see, don't tap into. As my husband and I were driving up to Maine, you know, we look for, hawk is one of my totems. I think it's one of his too, because he sees them as much as I do. But it's always a sign for us of good things to come. And so we were driving, and as we were coming, we were merging from one main road to another, one highway to another. There was this giant hawk, and I mean giant. It was like at least 2 feet tall. And I had never seen anything like that. And my husband, you know, we were like, whoa. So it was a big sign, quite literally, and it was looking right at us. And then it looked in the direction that we were headed. So it was like pointing us the right way. So that felt really, really good. So, nice. So let's see. I see a couple new people. Hi, Mary. Welcome. And oh my gosh, Stephen, another Maine person. Hi, welcome to the show. Love is universal, right? So when we're calling on the high heart, it's that joy, that wonder. And, many of us on this show, we're healers in some fashion. And so we call in that higher divine energy to help fill us as we do our work. And when our ego is out of the way, then all that flows is unconditional love. When we're trying to make the healing happen, we can waver the vibration slightly. And we can get into love energy, which is still strong, but it might not be that high heart energy. And the high heart sits up higher. It sits up more on our sternum. It's in between where our heart chakra would be and our throat chakra. And I experienced that chakra, that soul chakra, as a pink in color as opposed to green. So the chakra that is your heart for your physical body, your earth vessel, as you would, that one is green. But when we tap into the high heart, I experience that as more of a fuchsia pink color. Now, those of you who are seers, we sometimes will see different colors. So don't be locked into the color. But it usually is located for most people up right above the heart. And in that space, when we want to call on the high heart, we are asking our higher self, our soul, to come in and help us have a higher perspective from our heart space. And when we are able to go into that energy, when we move into that space, then the ego sort of dissolves away. It's still there, but it's like you can't hear that channel, that static. You're dialed into a fuller frequency that really allows just loving energy and loving thoughts and loving vibrations to flow through you. And that is a space that many people tap into when they're doing meditation or when they're out in nature. It's when we are in the wonder and the joy, and you just feel connected to everything that's around us, and it just fills us up. It makes everything the colors seem brighter, and when you breathe in the air, it feels fuller, and even what you're tasting tastes better. Does that make sense? So that's what it is. And some people will talk about that's the experience that we have as we energetically align more fully with the fourth and the fifth dimensions. The more we are connected to that fuller vibration, the more the love energy flows through. And when that's flowing through us, then possibilities are endless. And yes, our crown chakra has to be open. But what I found is it's really hard. I don't want to say you can't, but I have yet to experience it. So let me put it that way. That if we connect to your high heart, your crown has to be open because your crown has to be open for your higher self to slide in and align with you in guidance. And that's how I experience it. The higher self does not need to stay, over our head, out of reach. When we call it in, and that's what we're saying here, you're calling in your high heart, you're asking it to align with you, not to be separate from you. And that is understanding that you and your higher self are all part of one energy system. We're all part of one energy being. We don't have to be distant. But the more we're in the everyday and the more we are freaked out, the more we are separate from that energy. I hope that makes sense. So one of the things that we can do is there's some fantastic meditations, and we will do one in a little bit. Neshi has one that she does quite often. It's called the Unity Breath. I think that's the right name. I always hear it as the Unity meditation because it's unifying your energy and your field, but it's bringing you into unity with your own heart. And why would we want to do that this time of year? Well, I mean, why would we want to do it at all, right? But we all want to experience love, and we have a sense of unconditional love. But in unconditional love, it's hard for us to imagine love with no strings attached. Like there's no judgment of whether you're good or bad. You just are. And that is something that's not practiced on a regular basis here on the earth plane. So there are a lot of us who are doing our best to show that, to be that, and to share it with others. And the more we do it, the more other people, well, the better we feel, but also the more other people start to learn by example. I hope that makes perfect sense. So I'm just going to check something because I saw something flash. Yep. So there are so many aspects to our high heart. So if you can imagine in your energy system, your higher self has 5 chakras. Oh, thank you, Neshi. She said it's called the Unity Breath Guided Meditation. Yes. And you often do it on your show, Communications from Home, which is on Tuesday nights at 8:00. It's often at the last Tuesday of the month, if I'm not mistaken. I've fallen a little out of rhythm with the Tuesday night. I tend to catch it on the replay. So I'll let you chime in if I'm accurate with that. Or maybe you just do it every so often and I thought it was more regular. I'm not sure. But it's a fantastic meditation that is done quite regularly on her show that connects to the high heart as well. So you don't have to, scroll back and find this one. So Martina's saying, oh, I'm so glad I found this. I need this. I know, right? Don't we all? And one of the reasons my team was talking about this was that there's a lot of people. Okay, Neshi's saying, yes, the last Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when she does the Unity Breath Guided Meditation. For all of you who really enjoy connecting to the heart energy, I strongly suggest that one as well. But we will do one in a little bit. And it's different, because my team is different. I'm going to switch to my regular text, my regular thing, because the scrolling is distracting. For those of you who know me, understand that when I'm doing my work, I'm channeling. So there's times that it comes in pieces, or I'm translating the words so they are easier for all of us to understand. So I can get caught in that a little bit. But what my team was saying to me, and what I mean by team is my spirit team, my guides, my angels, and I chat with them all the time, and they give me guidance and suggestions, and they let me know what you need ahead of time so that I'm prepared and can be of service to you. That's my job. That's why I'm here. So what I was hearing for this is that, Valentine's Day can be a time of depression because people will focus on love they have lost, people who are no longer with them that they love, and they feel a lack of love. They don't feel filled with love. And when we have that experience, and I remember that, I'm somebody who suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder for a very long time. And so I can remember how difficult it was. And the amount of anxiety I would have, would I be remembered or would I be forgotten? And, because this was a classic holiday to be forgotten, where I got forgotten a number of times. And so it was very anxiety producing, because there was that energy, I'm sure from childhood, that had to do with, how well we were loved was whether or not we received a Valentine or not, or as many as other people, or flowers, or, there was this judging and comparing that went on that was attached to this holiday. And when I was in that depressed energy, it was very easy to get caught up in that, to be feeling that lack as opposed to joy at all the love that was being shared. Like for one day on the planet, everybody cuts it out and starts, they treat each other with love and respect. But then there's all these other people who feel left out, and so that can just really deplete. And for those of you who are empaths out there, and probably most of you are, we can feel that energy drain. We can feel that pulling out. And really what it is it's that old grief and that sadness and the disappointment. And it's really, think of it as our inner child is in there and they're sad that they didn't get a Valentine, that they didn't get their little treat, But as I was saying earlier, we're adults. We create our own reality. Why are we letting other people dictate our love, our happiness? All because of one day. It was a day that was meant for us to love one another, not leave each other out. So it's a beautiful day to spread kindness to others. Send them a personal Valentine. If you know somebody is alone or could be lonely, or they've been struggling with sadness or depression, just be like thinking of you, and sending you love, and send something cute and funny, just so that they can feel seen, feel heard. Does that make sense? So Martina is saying, tomorrow I will believe will be a heart draining for me. I'm feeling it already. Yeah, some of us feel it coming. And Kimberly is saying, yes, indeed, too much emphasis on judgment and competition. Yes. And we don't realize how much, when we're excited and we're happy, that we got something, and then we just go, look what I got. And we don't realize that somebody else might be sad or hurting. But what I'm saying is you don't have to be, you can choose not to be. So how do you make your inner child your Valentine? Because that's the Valentine that you have for your whole life, and they have you. And so do you do something special for yourself for Valentine's Day? Do you, or any other day where you want to send love to you? And how can you do that? And when we do that on a more regular basis, we're tapping into that unconditional love. We're tapping into energy that is uplifting. And when we're in that uplifting energy, we are raising our vibration. Or as my team talks about it, we're expanding our energetic reach. We are, instead of going up, we're becoming fuller. We're able to hold this frequency and all these others. And so it's not a narrow pathway up a, spiral staircase. It's an expansion. Think of, the pulse that goes out and it radiates out from, like, if we were a sun and then it radiates out, how far can your love beams shine for others who are in the darkness, right? And when we're shining that brightly, we feel it, we experience it, and we connect to it. So my team calls the high heart the transcendental heart, because it helps us transcend this one vibration and frequency that we may be in. It allows us to be more fully a multidimensional being, because our higher self is a multidimensional being. And so when we connect to that, when we call that in, then we're standing more in our multidimensional energy more often. And we can practice by bringing that in, by doing the meditation. And my team wanted me to pull out my trusty oil. It's hard for you to see with the lighting, but this is the Transcendental Heart. It's one of our soul chakra blends. You cannot see it, but the bottle is purple and green because it's got a combination of your heart and your highest knowing. And this one, the oils that I channel and create, they're about teaching your energy body what you want it to do. So by putting this on, and I put it on whenever I'm working with that, I put it on quite often, almost every day, to be truthful, because I want to be in my high heart. I want to be in that energy, in that connection. So I call that energy in by putting on that oil, and it reminds me of, okay, that's the vibration and the frequency that I want to align with. And it helps train my energy body that that's what I want. That's what I want to create. And that's how I want to create the energy. So that's so true. So Neshi's saying, I love that. The inner child aspect of ourselves is our Valentine. How do we love ourselves? Right. I know. They're so cute. So one of the things I did this year, I'd been threatening to do it for a while. And so in that space, I'm having trouble putting that up. There we go. I wanted a Valentine's tree. I just love trees, like Christmas trees, but I always wanted them to be holiday trees. And I just really have always thought that it would be fun to have them up more often. Now, that doesn't mean that, it's a live tree, because I'm not going to deal with the needles and stuff like that, especially with cats. And I found years ago that the cats would drink the water and it was not pretty. So I do have an artificial tree. I actually have a bunch of them, and they're tall and thin. So I have my Valentine's tree up, and I have a big heart on the top, and it's a white tree, and it has pink and red hearts on it, and it has ribbon, and it's just like love, love, love energy. And I actually put a little white tree skirt under it that's all furry. And my cats love to sleep under the Christmas trees. And so it was like, why not have a tree up all year round? And they've been snuggling and sleeping under it and enjoying it. So, that is my tree right now. And it brings me joy every time I step into the kitchen, because I feel that wave of love energy, and my inner child is so excited that we finally have that tree, and I can't wait to take it down on this weekend and put the next one up, because that's another part of allowing my inner child to have fun with the holidays. And, they don't have to be the way everybody else does them. Does that make sense? So Kimberly's saying that's magical. Yeah, I really love it. I really enjoy it. And I have a St. Patrick's Day tree coming too. I'm very, very excited about, because I did the DNA test, and found out I was 42% Irish, and I knew I had a lot of Irish in me, and my mom was surprised, but there's Irish on both my parents' side, and so just it fell the right way for me. And it's, I felt the calling. So I have, for my tree that's going to have St. Patrick's Day stuff on it, I have, Irish dancers, and I have shamrocks and leprechauns, and I have some Irish fairies, and I'm over the moon excited for it. And the opportunity that I can build these collections of things that I can bring out, and it can bring me joy. So I'm very excited, as you can tell. So how do we call in our high heart? Well, one of the things that we will do in the meditation is, well, first we're going to ground our energy, because that's how we do that. And then we'll connect to the heart, our physical heart, and make sure that the rhythm is what it needs to be. Then we'll connect to our heart chakra, and then we'll call in our higher self and our high heart. And the way I experience when the high heart comes in, our heart chakra of our physical body and our high heart begin to merge. So imagine the yin yang, that white and black symbol, except it's green and pink. And then it starts to swirl together so that both hearts are beating as one. And isn't it interesting how on Valentine's Day, when we talk about a very close relationships, we talk about having two hearts that beat as one. And we can experience that within ourselves when we connect to our higher self. Hey! So, have a good night, Martina. I hope you can join us later. Watch the meditation. You'll see it's in the second half of the show, and connect onto that. So I'm just going to keep the crawler going so I don't have to look at it. So let's take a couple deep breaths and see if we can call in that energy, the transcendental heart, our high heart. And with each breath, just really bring yourself into the present moment. Really experience your physical body. You may feel your bones or the weight of the muscles. You may feel gravity pushing down on you. And we're going to start this evening by calling in our spiritual teams. Our angels, our guides, our ancestors, the star people, all divine of the highest, fullest, and brightest vibration available to us in this moment. And we're going to ask the divine energy to surround and protect us in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light, creating a sacred, safe space for us to do our healing work in. And we set the intention that all of the healing work that is done here is for the good of all and harm to none. And that includes ourselves. So we're going to use our heart chakra, the beautiful green orb, to begin grounding us to the earth plane first by connecting to our third chakra, just below our rib cage, our second chakra, below our belly button, our first chakra below our tailbone, down each of our legs, through our feet, down through the floor and the foundation of the building we may be in, through the layers of earth, rock, crystal, thousands of miles to the very center of the earth, the molten lava heartbeat filled with the original energy of creation. and connecting our energy to that, or to something sturdy that will anchor us like a rock or a crystal. And asking that cord of connection to connect to the divine feminine or grandmother earth, and to gently expand to the size of a cylinder so that we can hold even more flow, even more divine energy flowing to us and through us. And asking that energy from the divine feminine to gather in our heart, filling it with unconditional love and light. And now we're also going to create a cord of connection to the divine masculine above, to Grandfather Sky. And feel that cord of connection go from the heart to the throat, from the throat to the third eye, from the third eye to the crown at the top of the head, and all the way up to the center of creation, past all of the stars, the planets, all the way to the very center where our earth was conceived, where our soul was perceived, where our spark of light first ignited. And from that place, open that cord of connection to hold even more energy, love, and light from the divine masculine and Grandfather Sky. And asking that energy to gather to us and through us, to anchor in our heart with the divine feminine, bringing our energy into balance in the physical and the spiritual. And gently asking the energy to balance each of our chakras, beginning at the crown, seeing it gently open, filling with beautiful golden white light. And then with the third chakra in the center of the forehead, filling with all of the purple lights, all the purple rays of healing, of intuition, and calling into our throat chakra all the vibrations and frequencies of blue into that beautiful orb, and into our heart, the brilliant green, balanced and full. And into our third chakra below our rib cage, that beautiful golden yellow, the color of the sun. And some of our favorite crayons. Balancing and restoring that energy to its fullest and brightest. And moving down into the second chakra and that beautiful orange color. Bright and juicy, filled with flow, in all aspects of our lives. And moving into our root chakra below our tailbone and calling in the brilliant red energy, vibrant and full. And from this space, we're going to invite in our higher self to connect to us and through us. And specifically, we're going to call in our high heart, the transcendental heart that allows us to feel and express love unconditionally, fully and completely in unity with all that is. And you may experience that as a fuchsia pink color and begin to feel it center and activate in your sternum above your heart. And we ask the transcendental heart to anchor to our heart chakra and our heart, creating the Holy Trinity within ourselves, our physical being, our energetic being, and our full soul and spirit, gathering together as one. And now connecting to our inner child and inviting our child to be filled with this unconditional love, support, beauty, and joy. So that we can be reminded of that whenever we need to fill our own cup. And feel that heart energy radiating out in front of us, behind us, on either side of us, even above us and below us. And I invite you to send that heart energy to those in need, including yourself. The people and the creatures who share this beautiful earth plane with us. Who could use some love and support, healing, that love can send to them. And just notice in the heart space the peace and serenity that is there for you to gather whenever you need. Your sacred space where you can chat with your soul and with anyone else's soul. Including those who've gone before us. Now gently returning your energy to the present moment, into your physical body, but allowing room for the connection to stay fully connected for as long as you are willing or able to hold it. And just a reminder that gratitude will help you to remember how to access it when in need. And you can gently begin to dissolve your meditation. You can stretch and yawn or wiggle your fingers or toes, whatever will help you. And come back into the moment. Oh, thank you. So Jen shared, grateful for you and the meditations. You are so welcome. I love sharing them with people, and I receive as much healing as you do. So it's my self-care too, to be part of this and to help guide with this. So thank you, sweetie. So what was that like for you? How was that experience? Did you find it helpful? Does it remind you to breathe? Yeah, let me know. Let me know how that went for you. So when we're in our heart space, we can call in exactly what we want to create in our lives. It's how we shift our focus. We realign with what is serving us best. So when we get into a place where we feel agitated or frustrated or anxious, reconnecting to that higher heart energy will help, first of all, calm the waters of emotional distress. And I know it's easier said than done. When it gets revved up, it's hard to stop. But the more you practice, the easier it gets. So that's how that goes. So Violet saying, it felt so wonderful. Thank you. Oh, good. And Neshi saying, thank you. A great healing meditation, calming and happiness and joy. Ooh, I love that. Perfect. So, when we're in this space, we can create. We can create the life we want. We can create the love we want. But it all begins with us. And if we remember that, then we are empowering ourselves to be love and choose love that aligns with who we truly are. Does that make sense? So let's see. Andrew saying, thank you. I haven't felt like this in so long. I wrote an entire song while listening to your lesson. Now I'm feeling a wealth of emotion. Yay! That's what I'm talking about. Kimberly's saying, wonderful, very deep, and it has created a stronger connection with our higher self. Much love. Oh, you are so welcome. So speaking of that, I think of manifesting and creating as being the same thing. And so Star Nations were offering this wonderful group of online classes all about, diving into the deep waters of manifesting. And there are so many pathways to doing that, so many vibrations and frequencies that help us align with that, help us create with that. And so this past Monday, Maureen Mann launched us off with showing us how to call in our angelic assistants. And I was using Ariel this week, and I had some fantastic manifesting that occurred by asking Ariel to be of assistance. And so, if that's something that you would like to create your own life and living it the way you wish to and you desire, these classes are so for you. And it's okay. They're recorded. So if you missed Monday, you can still catch up. And then Ed Langen will bring us his version of manifesting using aspects of the law of attraction. I'm very excited about. And then in April, you'll have me, and I'm going to show you manifesting and how to do it with the inner child. I'll tell you, there's some magic wand involved, energy involved. And then Neshi will bring it home at the beginning of May. And then the four of us will gather together to teach live and in person for Star Nations Academy, but here on the East Coast. And we will be doing this huge deep dive 3-day weekend of like, how do you call in higher manifesting? I will be focused a lot on multi-dimensional manifestation because when we're in higher, fuller frequencies, then we're on the super highway and it gets to us quicker. Just as a possibility if you're interested in that. So that's what's coming up. I hope you guys like the new showtime on Thursdays at 7. I feel like it's working nicely. And you can always tap into my show, Chakra Sessions. That's on Wednesdays at 7 as well. We did 47 card draws last night, which was fantastic. And it was wild. We had 1,500 people view it within like an hour or two. So that was just like off the charts. You know, it usually takes a little while for people to watch it and check it out, but there we go. So let me put up the information about the classes are at starnations.org and Star Nations Academy. And, you know, the other thing that we all do, or most of us do, is we write for Star Nations magazine. And mine this month was all about clear communications, you know, because if we aren't hearing each other, then we're really alone. You know, how do we listen and how do we open up? And the Ancient Ones spoke through and gave us some really cool tidbits on how to maybe improve how we do communication and relationships, which felt really aligned for this February love energy. So I encourage you to check that out as well. If you go to the Chakra Sessions page, there's this little nugget, a little piece of my article that you can check out there. But you can always click on starnations.org and it will lead you right to our magazine. Because that has some really great stuff again, like it does every month, but I was very excited. So Roberta is saying, perfect synchronistic energy for our world. You are off the charts. Love out to you. Thank you for helping us to listen. Oh, sweetheart, you are so welcome. Like I said, what I guide you in, I get to receive as well. And so it helps me in all sorts of ways. So how do you bring that in? And I just want to remind you, here's the Transcendental Heart blend, and you can go to my website. Maybe I can type it in. She's so much better at this than I am. So Trinity Healing Sanctuaries.com. I don't know if that showed up for you guys or not. Yes, it did, I think. Thank you. She did it. So here are my products and services. TrinityHealingSanctuaries.com. So if you want some assistance from me, I do distance healing. I help do coaching. I can help you realign because sometimes we have a particular issue we're working on. So if you want some one-on-one help with me, feel free to reach out with me. And my blends are right out on Trinity Healing Sanctuary. And we'll send them right out to you if you want to align with your heart and call that energy in for more than just Valentine's Day. But no matter what, you guys, I hope you have a fabulous Valentine's, and we will see you here next week on Chakra Sessions at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget to check out my shows on Wednesday, Soul Connections, where I do healing, but also share those divine guided messages. And boy, they were a doozy once again this week. So hold on to your hat this week and make sure you're doing a lot of self-love and self-care. With you guys, I will see you next time. Have a great one.